Hot girl summer. Hot girl summer. City girls.
I agree. It is a hot girl summer.
It's a hot girl summer.
It's a hot girl summer.
That's what you have to say about
Yeah,
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the StarliveShow. I'm your host, Malik Anibaba. With me today for another installment of the StarliveShow is Mr. Tapiwanashe, all the way from Zimbabwe. You're my first South African. You're my first South African on the show. I'm excited about it. Thanks for being here. How you doing?
Good. Thank you for having me.
Of course. So Tapiwa is here to talk about his startup business called Kumba Africa. Why don't I let you tell us what Kumba Africa is exactly?
So Kumba Africa is an Africa-focused travel technology company, and we've built an online marketplace and a booking platform that allows travelers visiting any African destination to be able to book and pay for the most authentic travel experiences. That includes tours, activities, airport transfers, you name it. And on the other side, we are empowering local tour operators, tour guides, and locals that want to offer these authentic experiences to be able to list those products on our platform and make money from that and be able to use their cultural knowledge to empower travelers. So that's essentially what we do as a company, and we work with corporates, we work with families, we work with individuals, anyone really trying to go to Africa. We want to be the #1 travel company in Africa.
I like that #1. You said authentic experiences. Give me an example of an authentic experience that you guys offer. Like if I was supposed to go to South Africa or Cape Town, which I've actually been wanting to do, give me an authentic Cape Town experience. What's that like?
Absolutely. So an experience encompasses many different moments. For us as a company, we look at the interaction of a local. So that means that we want there to be a local involved in whatever you're doing. For example, we offer we offer homestays in one of the most interesting parts of Cape Town. We call them townships. I don't know if you're familiar with townships, but townships are more of the lower, like high density residential areas, people living in very interesting living conditions. And so we offer tourists a chance to be able to interact with these locals and actually have meals with them, and so that they share their stories of how they live their day-to-day lives. That's an example. We also offer food tours as well, where you get to have a local in Cape Town take you to different restaurants. And
when you start talking about food,
I'm
excited. I'm excited.
Exactly.
So I'm also having authentic meals as well.
Absolutely.
Nice.
So that's part of the experience. And then we also offer things like champagne cruises, where at sunset we work with a specific company to be able to give you enjoy champagne with your loved one or by yourself in Cape Town and be able to look at the beautiful Table Mountain. So that's just one of the many experiences available on our platform at the moment.
Nice. How does that idea come to you? Where were you when you decided, okay, I'm going to start giving authentic experiences to people traveling to Africa? How did that come to you?
So for me, it's been a bit of a journey. So my first company, that failed. It was called Kumba Africa.
There you go. The only way you're doing something is if you fail.
You have to fail.
So I like
exactly.
that.
So failure is
good.
It's a chance to learn and learn from your mistakes.
Okay.
And so while I was in South Africa in 2017, through Drexel University's COL program, where I was spending 6 months,
which is also where we met.
Exactly. Unfortunately.
You keep talking. I feel like I should bring you water or something.
Yes. But anyway, we'll continue the show. So during my time there, I was struggling to find an authentic travel experience, right? I wanted to mix with locals, and I wanted a reliable place for me to do that. And so while I was working on my first company in South Africa, I had that idea. Now, track forward actually, maybe around about January of 2018, I had met one of my good friends from there actually, and so we decided to start the company based on my personal experience, and obviously having lived in the USA and interacting with so many Americans who have so many questions or in some cases,
assumptions.
you know,
about Africa.
Yeah, exactly, which we won't go into today.
No,
but
not that time.
Exactly. So for me, it was more of a way to say, when someone wants to go to Africa, who can they trust? Who can be that person who will give them that knowledge, that expertise, and be that niche market leader within the continent itself? And so that's why we started Kumba Africa, to be able to empower, you know, travelers, and also to empower our communities around Africa. You know, people are using our tech to be able to create all these different experiences, being able to list their products, and with that gateway for them to earn more money. At the end of the day, you know, that's a no-brainer for us. So that's why we started Kumba Africa.
Bro, honestly, the way you talk about your company, like the passion, like it's getting me hyped. It's getting me hyped.
We love it. We love what we're doing, and so we think that there's room to grow. But yes,
that's good. You gotta do what you love. So I would assume you also like to travel, right? A fake African like me, I don't think I've been to any other. I don't think I've been to any other African country, but you've done your fair share. Tanzania, Kenya, Zim, of course, South Africa. Botswana. Yeah. What's your favorite place you've been to? Oh, which place surprised you the most? Let me ask you that.
Oh, that's a good question.
Where did you go to and you're like, oh wow?
I would say for me, the place that surprised me the most was Zanzibar.
Oh,
it surprised me because it has a mix of both, you know, that vacation feel. It's got the cultural aspect to it, and the seafood. It's just, I mean, there's a market called Forodani in Zanzibar, and every day the fishermen, after they have their catch for the day, they bring fresh seafood. So it was just part of that experience, and I think that Zanzibar for me it surprised me a lot. And I think, but for me, I would say my favorite place, without a doubt, has to be Cape Town. It's the most beautiful city for me.
And that's where you're based, pretty much. That's where your company is based.
Pretty much, exactly.
But you do a little back and forth. So sometimes you're in Cape Town, sometimes you're here in the US, sometimes you're here in Philadelphia. Do you enjoy that you get to do that back and forth, or is that too strenuous for you? How do you feel about that aspect?
I mean, for me, I personally love traveling, and I think that resonates through what our company does. We want to empower people that travel for business, for leisure. And so I personally, I don't find it strenuous. It is a lot of traveling that I do. I'm never in one place at the same time, and so there's a lot of movement that happens. And I think I'm always chasing summers at the end of the day. So, which means that I don't like winters. I'm in Africa. I don't like winters.
So as soon as it gets cold,
exactly. So I find it very enjoyable for me, and I get to mix with so many people from different backgrounds, and tap into like my different ecosystems. And so for me, I like the fact that I'm able to move around between both continents while still pursuing my goals with Kumba. And personally, I just love to travel and just go to new places and try new things.
Nice, excellent. Now let me take you to a little bit of a dark place. What part of this job don't you like? What part of this job don't you like?
It's very hard because I genuinely
love everything.
Well, okay, fine. Let me. The part of the job that I don't like, especially when you're a startup company, is that you do so many things, right? You never specialize in company strategy, right? It's just one of the many things you have to do. You have to do marketing, you have to do sales, customer relationship management. You have to do, there's just so much you have to do. And so one thing that I don't like has to be accounting.
Numbers.
Yeah, I can do numbers, but it's just, my mother, she's an accountant, and so having lived as, being the son of an accountant, my dad was also an accountant.
Yeah, same. My dad was also a chartered accountant.
So numbers, I understand how they work, how they deduct, but it's just, I just don't like it.
Yeah, it seems like just tedious work, really.
It is. So, but at the end of the day, it has to be done.
Next, you bring up your parents. Now, I'm going to ask you a little bit about that. So, straight out of college, you decided to pursue Kumba Africa, right? You never got a regular job, 9 to 5. How did your parents feel about that?
You know what? My parents are very supportive.
Really?
Very supportive.
Oh, my parents can learn a thing or two about this. Go on.
Daddy Babas, you hear that? Now, for me, so I spoke to my parents, and I think it started all the way from my third co-op, right? So that third, for those that don't know, co-op, like a longer version of an internship.
Exactly.
6 months.
Exactly.
So for me, I did that. That was pretty much entrepreneurship, where I got funding from Drexel. I got a grant to be able to spend 6 months and build my company and travel to different parts of Africa on my first company. So from that moment, my parents understood that I was someone who wanted to do what they wanted to do, right? I have that freedom, and so they gave me their backing, right? And I think in any African culture, you need the blessings of your parents, you know. So they did that, and right up until this day, you know, it's been a struggle at some points financially, like any other startup, but you soldier on, and so I think that they understand the vision. I think having parents who understand where you want to be, and quite frankly, for me, my dad is an entrepreneur. He left his regular job as an auditor, accountant when I was, I think, around about what was I? Maybe about 6 or 7.
So he gets the urge to be wanting to be in control of, you know,
of my own destiny.
Exactly.
Yeah. So they understand, and so I think it's been a blessing to have them give me the support. So I'm very grateful for that.
That's good. Also, I feel like when you go to them with a plan and you show that you're passionate and you know exactly what you're doing and where you want to go, it makes the conversation a little bit easier.
Exactly.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tapiwanashe. We'll be right back with more of Kumba Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the StarliveShow. I'm Tapiwanashe, CEO and co-founder of Kumba Africa. He's told us that why he's passionate about what he does, what he likes about traveling. Now I want to ask you, when you're not working, what is Tapiwanashe doing? What's your favorite thing to do?
The question is when am I not working?
Okay.
That's a very stereotypical founder. No, but for me, I do so many things, and again, I think it speaks through what I do for my company, right? Experiences. I'm all about different experiences, so I'm that person that will go to a wine and nut bar, right? I will do pottery, right?
Really?
I will go walking. I'll take walks. I love to hang out with people, so I love to meet new people, hang out with my friends, speak with my family when I'm home, obviously. I also like to travel.
Yeah.
So when I'm not working, I'm traveling some of the times. So it's both, you know, business and pleasure. So I do like that. What else do I enjoy doing?
Soccer, you
I enjoy reading. I enjoy reading a lot.
What are you doing right now?
So I read a lot of like online publications, so more like business literature, more than books.
Okay. Have you been featured in anything? I feel like I saw on your social that you were featured in something.
I was, yes. I was actually featured on Disrupt Africa. That's one of Africa's leading tech publications. So that was a vindication of what we're doing. That was in May.
Yeah, that's good encouragement.
Exactly. Yeah. So also been featured in IT Wave Africa as well. So yeah, it's been good. But yeah, so to go back to your point, I just spend my time doing so many different things. You know, cooking sometimes, just anything that I feel will be a new experience. Will take my mind away from work and really make sure that, you know, mentally I'm in a good state. So
nice. I like this stuff. It sounds like you're living life, which is very good. Props to you on all those communications.
Thank you.
Now, with your startup, you did something big. You moved back to Africa to pursue the startup because you could have done that here. And you know, I get the sense that a lot of Africans who are now in diaspora tend to want to stay in diaspora, but you're a big advocate for people going back home and pursuing business opportunities back home. Why is that, and what, from your experience, do you think is helpful for people to know, to encourage them to do something like go back home and pursue their?
Yeah, that's a very, very good question. And so I think, you know, having lived here for 5 years, being a student here, and then obviously 6 months after graduating, you know, kind of moving in between Philly and South Africa and Zimbabwe, my home country. So it's been very interesting to see the dynamics when you're there. And so most people that come here, there's a certain level of comfort that you get. You know, America, you can live the American dream quite literally. You know, you can really have a nice house, you can have all these nice things, and that's great. And for some people, that's okay, right? They pursue, that's their passion, that's what they want for their career. But I think there's just so much to do on our continent, you know. It's just, there's so many business opportunities that I've seen. You know, when I went back, so obviously in January I went there on a more permanent basis. Of course, I'm still based in Philly as well, and you know, Cape Town as well. But I got to understand why there's so much opportunity, and Africa is in some ways a chaotic continent.
Always,
you know, in many ways actually. In many ways. And so you get to understand as to the fundamental problems that need to be solved within Africa, right? And who are the people that can do that? It's us young people that have gone to very good schools here in the USA, some in the UK, Canada, Australia, in other parts of the world. And so we've had that education. And I think when most people graduate, the first thing on their mind is I want to get a job, and that's credit to them, right? And you need to pay off bills, you need to pay off your loans if you have loans, and so forth. So, but I think what people don't understand or don't get to see is using the education and the advantage that they've been given and the privilege that they've had, you can actually go back to the continent. And there's so much to do. I mean, people are doing amazing things in Africa. People, startup founders, for example, there's a company called Kumba 360. They deal with like logistics, and so they're able to connect both like freight forwarders to actual companies, and so people are using tech. And I mean, we've seen success stories in Africa. We've seen Flutterwave, Andela. We've seen big companies there, and all those companies have one thing in mind: they're solving some of the most socioeconomic problems that are being faced by the continent. And I think that's one thing that, as young people or young Africans that are here in the United States, it's on us to go back. But everyone has their own different career, ambitions. But I would highly encourage people to look back where you're from, and just see where can I make an impact, because I can tell you that there's still room for more to be done.
Yeah, we're just getting started.
Exactly.
We're just getting started. All right, but let me ask you, before I take a look, let me ask you this last question. What would you tell yourself 2 years ago, or prior to your first startup that failed? What advice would you give yourself back then?
Does it make money? Right. While you're solving a problem, does it make money? I think with the first company, we tried to solve the problem of misinformation, right? Where Africa is portrayed as this dark continent that's, where lions, running around aimlessly, we've heard that story, you know, right? And so what we didn't think about is that as we were solving that problem using technology to empower Africans to share their stories, we didn't think about how we're gonna make money. And at the end of the day, that is the oxygen of business, is money. That's how you survive. And so I would tell myself, before you step into starting a company, ask yourself, how easy will it be to monetize this while you're still solving a particular problem with your solution?
Nice. Ladies and gentlemen, it's all about the chichi. We'll be taking a break right now, and when we get back, I'm going to torture Tapiwa a little bit. Stay tuned. Now I will be torturing Tapiwa. Tapiwa, are you on Twitter?
I have no Twitter.
No Twitter at all.
I've actually never used Twitter in my life.
Good, that means we're going to play these games from an outside perspective. Have you heard the term Scopo Tumana? Does that mean anything to you?
No.
Because I'm on a hunch to find out what it means, and apparently it might not even mean anything. But it's this idea where someone on Twitter will post about a topic, and the question would be Scopo Tumana, and it really is asking you to say what your opinion on this matter is, or what triggers you about this situation. What's on your mind about this situation? So I came up with a bunch of stuff, right? And I want you to give me your opinion on said topics. And if you do well enough, you might walk away with one of these.
I think I will walk away.
You think you walk away with one of these? I hope so. Okay, so the first one I have for you is sliding into DMs. How do you feel about the notion of sliding into DMs?
Wow, that's an interesting one to ask.
Yeah, you're really on the spot here.
Really on the spot. I think sliding into DMs is fine. I mean, for example, the first thing that comes to my mind, one of my really good friends from back in Zimbabwe, he met his girlfriend through sliding into DMs. And they're still together today. So, as they say, he threw his shot.
He shot his shot.
You gotta shoot your shot. You gotta shoot your shot. In life and business and everything.
So that means I already know the way you feel about this one, online dating. But like specifically like Tinder and Christian Mingle, Bumble, all that kind of stuff. How do you feel about that stuff?
Personally, I've used online dating, apps before, and they exist for a reason, especially. And I see now that I'm working full time, right? You barely have time after work to meet with people.
You barely have time. I don't want to be.
I mean, yeah, firstly, but so you got to think about how am I going to meet, the one, if there's such a thing. And so I'm a big fan of it. You know, I think I still personally prefer meeting people naturally in person, but I think those tools exist for a good reason, although it can get a little messy.
We get that. Oh, this one is right up your alley. Liverpool FC. We are literally about to go back into the Premier League season. I know you're a Liverpool fan. Tell me how you feel about this.
European champions, that's all I have to say.
Do you think you're going to repeat?
I think, I'm putting my money on Liverpool winning the Premier League this season and not winning the Champions League. That is our focus.
Okay. Did Pep die? Did Aguero drop dead?
Well,
But you're happy with the state of the club?
I'm happy with the state of the club.
You like the manager?
Yes, I love Jurgen Klopp. Great guy,
Good for you.
Very affable.
Good for you, I can't relate.
I don't know about Manchester United.
United is stressing me out. United is always stressing me out. Hot girl summer. Hot girl summer. City girls.
I agree. It is a hot girl summer.
It's a hot girl summer.
It's a hot girl summer.
That's what you have to say.
Yeah, but for me, see, I'm always in summer, whether it's in Cape Town or here. So, yes.
You've been peace, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Last one. Let's go for 2 now. Fake accents.
I hate fake accents.
Why do you think people put on fake accents?
They're insecure.
Ooh.
Very insecure about your
Shots
natural
fired.
way of talking.
Shots
To
fired.
anyone out there offended, I'm sorry I spoke the truth, but but it also depends, right? Let's look at why someone would have a fake accent. Maybe sometimes you want to get a business deal done, and the person that you're talking with is from a different country.
Okay, so you switch it up when you're in business.
Well, sometimes you have to do that to secure the bank.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think Tapiwanashe did well enough. Congratulations!
Thank you.
That's been the show. Co-founder, CEO of Kumba Africa, Tapiwanashe and Glue. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Absolute pleasure.
This is Tapiwanashe. It's been a pleasure being on the StarliveShow. Thank you, Malik and Baba, for having me on your show. And please, if you want to go to Africa, Kumba Africa is the place, the website and the mobile app to download. Kumba Africa. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and have a good night.
I don't think a Nigerian and a Ghanaian can make food and we can't have this obvious discussion. Low-key tired of the narrative, but I want your genuine opinion.
Okay.
Nigerian jollof rice or Ghanaian jollof rice?